This is my stage video for Stage 5 of the TDSA Carbine match, held December 9th, 2023. My first run is with my Enfield. This is a delightful rifle to shoot. It is not a delightful rifle to shoot on the clock, as you will see here. This stage was designed with modern carbines with detachable magazines in mind. The whole idea of essentially a fixed magazine loading from stripper clips, it was not something they were designed for, but we made it work. Essentially, you're supposed to shoot 3 targets, once each from 3 different positions with some special rules on the first and last, on 2 of the positions. And in between positions, you're supposed to reload magazines, and you cannot have magazines of more than 10 rounds. I have what is in effect a fixed magazine, stripper clip fed rifle. The loading in between is required, and so the workaround that was reached was quite simply, okay, you can't load more than 10 rounds at a time if your fixed mag somehow holds more than 10. You are required to load a stripper clip or top off the magazine if you can't load a stripper clip in between firing positions, so that you still have to manipulate the weapon, or in this case work through a partial rim jam, because PPU ammo is less likely to rim jam than S&B, but both are not quite as properly chamfered as surplus ammo. So I was having to work around a lot of different things with the Enfield. One of them is that this particular Enfield, I figured out kind of over the course of this match, I'm pretty sure that the ladder sight has a different windage zero than the battle sight. This is a 1944 production Enfield, so it does have the wartime expediency sights on it, and maybe they've gotten bent, or maybe they were never true on windage in the first place. But whatever the reason, I'm pretty sure that the windage is different between battle sight and leaf sight. I am flipping around between the leaf sights. I am feeling that I'm having difficulty connecting with the 300 in particular because of the windage. The 300-yard target is a popper, whereas the 200 and 400-yard targets are silhouettes. A mini IPSC on the front one, full size on the back one. And so I get the sense that it's probably a little bit off. I've never actually printed this rifle on paper, something I need to do, but the ammo's expensive. It also takes a while to load them, and the stripper clips do not do me any favors, and the trigger is heavy, and I know with every miss I make it that much harder for me to finish the entire match, or the entire stage. So I par out here with 5 hits remaining. A little frustrated, but as long as I'm wearing the party hat, all's well. But I signed up a second time, and I signed up to be sweaty the second time. This is the way that the stage is supposed to be run, with a modern AR, 10 rounds in the magazine, swap between stages, and also optics with which to see the targets. Let me tell you, World War II iron sights, not the best for long-range target acquisition and especially target shooting, as opposed to combat shooting. But this is what you can do when your rifle weighs half the weight and carries 3 times the ammo. And when you can just feed a fresh mag, as opposed to having to mess around with stripper clips that feed smoothly one direction and not the other. Here, I have a bipod, I have open ground, go prone, slam the rifle down, get your hits. Again, I'm going relatively slow compared to what I know I can do. This is because this is the first time in a little while that I have run the magnifiers, and I'm forgetting how delicate the eye box can be. Juliet 4s are decent magnifiers, but they do have pretty tight eye boxes, unfortunately, like most magnifiers do, which means that you have to cram your head down on them a little bit. I'm considering swapping to an LPVO. But that is the longest range stage of the day. Done and dusted. Very poor performance from the Enfield, unfortunately. A much better performance from the AR, as would be expected. And all in all, a decent long-range challenge at this match for once, as opposed to being stuck with 100-yard targets everywhere. This actually was pretty fun, and this is pretty close to the sort of matches that I train for, with the exception of there not really being a physical component. You have position changes, re-engagements of the same targets, but in sweeps, and yeah, some stuff to work around. It is a simple test of your marksmanship, and you can tell that the easier tool makes it a little easier for the same level of marksman to work on things. It also helps significantly that I have significantly more time behind ARs with SLT triggers than I do with that Enfield and its rather long and heavy trigger. Well, it's not really long, but it's heavy. And it shows in the fact that I haven't even moved off the first position in this split screen, and I have finished the entire stage with my AR. That's just, I need to shoot the Enfield more. Unfortunately, my wallet does not want me to shoot the Enfield more. So we're going to fast forward the rest of this and see you on the next stage.